this is the Cajun contractor, Michael King. I also want to put out, I just got a little text from another radio affiliate. He says, King, we've been carrying your show for a long time, and we are your oldest affiliate in Louisiana. That's KMLB. That's the big, powerful 540 AM, 105.7 FM in Monroe, Louisiana, North Louisiana. And I says, can you give us a big shout out to my Monroe, Mr. Holiday himself? Of course, he was my first affiliate 29 years ago. He's still carrying the show. And WGCH 1430 in Greenwich, Connecticut is my second oldest. But so, hey, all my people in Monroe, Louisiana, haven't forgot about you. And thank you, Mr. Holiday, for texting me right now. Are we talking to Mr. Zach Mottl with the Chairman Show right here on the King's Broadcasting Network, the Home Talk USA Radio Network. Zach Mottl is the host of the show. If you've listened to the show is expanding. We're getting more radio affiliates. The positive feedback we're getting on the show is that, Home Talk USA, we talk to the companies themselves. And then in Vent America, we talk to American Vents, how to get your product to market. But, it ain't going to make no sense that if we get the product to market and, we get the companies on, if the tax policies and the policies that the companies have to really abide by, that's going to force them to go bankruptcy, then the first two don't count. So that's why we need the third one to count, and that's Zach's show. Zach, so tell us what's going on. What you got up planned for 2026? I know you have a whole list of real important, deal makers in Washington coming on the show. And and I know eventually we're going to get on the president's radar and he's going to start coming on our show too. So that's going to really freak out when we get Donald Trump on our show eventually. It's going to happen. I met him a couple of times down at the producer show in New Orleans. But Zach, I want to make this step, and I know we want to talk, and I know I'm talking a lot here, talking fast, but I met him in New Orleans when he was producing his show, The Apprentice. And I need to tell you, and I kept telling all my other people when he was running in 2016, the guy you see on the camera is not the guy who he really is if you ever met him or talked to him. He gave me about 12 minutes, and I need to tell you.
Real nice guy, Mike. He's a real
man,
kind
I tell
man.
you. And it was amazing because when he found out I was a contractor, we had that bind that we was talking about. And that's something he never left, talking to the little man, talking to the concrete guy, at the job site. And his daddy taught him these values, that if you want to build a good construction project, you better start with the little guy that's running in the lot, picking up the nails, or the guy that nobody ever sees on a job site. He's the guy that really has all the information. And that, I think that's the success, is that when you meet him, he's not the guy that's portrayed on, on television. And that's my personal opinion. I don't know if you've ever met him and talked to him. But
there's the personality that's out there, and then you see it and you met him. I haven't had that same connection with him, but that I see it in his work and the things he does. He has respect for the working person, the people actually doing the job. He has respect for that. And what we saw for presidents before this, Democrats, Republicans, these were the elites running the country. They didn't really understand the working man and woman. They didn't really understand what they went through and stuff, and have respect for the work they do. So on my show, we're trying to focus on that, on the companies that are bringing the jobs to America, like the pharmaceutical industry. We're hearing this in the news right now. We don't make our own medicine. We don't make antibiotics. We don't make Advil. We don't make Tylenol, acetaminophen, the generic version of it. So, we want to get, number one, for national security, have those things here. Number two, we want to make sure they're not contaminated. They don't have problems with them. And number three, we want good jobs for people. So, the president has just changed the world on this, but there are people on both sides of the aisle. We're going to have them on the show. We're going to hear from them. We're going to ask them questions, and we want to get to the bottom of how we can do it better, make things in America here, Mike.
Well, and that's what he does. I mean, he just, he's the old Carney guy. He's the guy, he's, I think that's why him and Rush Limbaugh really, even though Rush was the conservative, we all know that. But the point is, he really was attracted to Rush Limbaugh, because what Rush would do, Rush would be in the middle. He would put it out there on the left, put it out there to right, sit back and really get them. And what's happening now? He's just sitting back and watching this chaos going on because he's got the left fighting the right's fighting the left, and he's just sitting down and said, okay, now let me step in and let's use some common sense when you're ready for me to step in. And I think that's what he does. He knows how to work the room. He knows how to work the crowd. And that's what he does. He puts the left, the right, whichever side you're on. He puts it out there. He kicks back, hits you high, sell low. What contractors do? I mean, he's a contractor mentality. But what makes him dangerous, what makes him very dangerous in a good way, not a bad way, what makes him dangerous is that New York mentality. You see, that's what people fail to realize. When you slap him on the face, he's going to put out a baseball bat and hit you in the head. If you take out a knife, he's going to pull out a gun. You know that old saying, right? If you got a knife, I got a gun. That's the point I'm trying to make is, and he's going to slap you back.
Leverage, Mike.
And that's what people
like nobody else.
That's right. And I'm saying it in a way, in a nice way, because, you know, if you're going to attack him, you better have it. But I've seen him attack on policy or common sense or not as anti-Trump, but attacked by the policy himself. And what he does, he sits back and he plays politician. But man, when you come at him, that's in America wants a strong president. We don't want a girly man. You know how Arnold Schwarzenegger said, a girly man? We don't want a girly man in Washington, right?
No,
we don't want a girly man.
Somebody to defend them. They want a leader they can look up to. They want somebody who stands up for their principles and their interests. And for too long, we haven't. We've let the world. We've given it away. It's time to reclaim our spot. You know, they call it the golden rule. You know what the golden rule is? He who's got the gold writes the rules. And we're learning that again in the world. We got to run. Everybody else run.
I got to cut you off. Chairman Show, third hour, right here. You're going to be coming up. Don't go nowhere. All right, we're going to take a short break. Wow. And we're going to keep this train rolling with the Vent America, Miss Rita Crompton, ventilate herself right here on the Home Talk USA Radio Network. I'll be right back. Yay!